Some say that the Bible is outdated, that it's irrelevant, and it doesn't apply to modern times. What do you think? Is it? Well, let's take a look at some things right now, and you be the judge, okay? Because we know that the Bible, if when you read it and when you study it, you know that it clearly explains thousands of years in the past. It explains to us in vivid detail what's taking place today, and it also explains in vivid detail what's going to be taking place thousands of years in the future. That's when you actually sit down and not just read it, but study it. You'll learn these things. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, in the book of Genesis, we know that it was written and completed by Moses in the wilderness of Sinai back in 1513 BCE, which is well over 3,500 years ago. Okay, this is easily proven. Anyway, thousands of years in the past, the Bible also clearly explains in vivid detail what's taking place today, not just in one country, but globally. And it explains that in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. And I took the liberty of writing out the scriptures, and I used the King James version since that's what most of you read, the King James. So we're going to read it verse by verse from the King James. It says, "But know this, and see if you can identify some of the behaviors of people today that you see on the news or out and about." Verse 1, "But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, not just men, but women too. Okay? Boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. And it gives a warning. It says, and from such people turn away. Don't associate with these types of people and behaviors. I would call that wisdom because we know when we associate with these types of individuals, what follows, right? So that's taking place currently around the world. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, the Bible also talks about what will take place thousands of years in the future. Okay. And the book of Revelation, if you've ever read it, I know I've talked to many adults that are afraid to read it because of what, well, the words that it contains. But anybody that have read the Bible knows that when they start out reading the book of Revelation, it says, happy or blessed is he that reads these words. So there's no reason to fear reading the book of Revelation. Anyway, in the book of Revelation, chapter 20, to be specific and exact, verses 1 through 3, it talks about a time period of 1,000 years when Satan the devil is seized and locked away in the abyss. And again, I took the liberty of using the King James since that's what most of you actually read. Okay. Verses 1 through 3, it talks about things that will take place. Okay. It says, then I saw an angel coming down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit or the abyss, and a great chain in his hand. Verse 2, he laid hold of the dragon, that serpent of old, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for how long? 1,000 years. This is going to take place in the future. Okay? Now, verse 3, and he cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal on him, so that he should not do what? So he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years were finished. So a period of 1,000 years, Satan will be locked away in the abyss or this bottomless pit. Why? 99% of church people can't answer that question. Why? Because 99% of them have never read this, have no clue this is even in there. Okay? There's going to be a period of 1,000 years that Satan is chained away, locked away, so as not to deceive the nations like he's doing today. Satan controls three main things: politics, big business, and his creme de la creme is religion. False religion, to be exact. Satan controls these three things because these three things encompass the entire earth. Okay? He's going to be locked away not to deceive people anymore. So during that time, there's going to be some things taking place. Unfortunately, churches don't cover this at all. So many of you have never read it and have no clue of what will be taking place. If you would like to know, I would encourage you to do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video and leave me a comment saying, look, let me know what's going to take place. And I will share the scriptures with you that tells you things that will be taking place during that time. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Now, that last part there, it says, but after these things, he must be released for a little while. There's a reason why he's locked up, and there's a reason why he's going to be released. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Well, if you would like to know, again, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and give me a thumbs up and let me know if you would like to know the answer to that question. With that being said, well, I'm not done yet. Let's go ahead and continue. Now, I need anybody to tell me, how is a book that specifically warns, and advises humans how to live and be completely happy, how to avoid a wide variety of dangers, how to avoid a variety of modern diseases, how to respectfully treat others, how to end violence and even wars. How is a book like that outdated? How is a book like that irrelevant? What human, tell me, what human has greater knowledge, wisdom, and insight? I'll wait. You tell me. Now, I know a lot of people in the world today, they look for life coaches, which is hilarious because you've got people right now in their 20s and 30s talking about they're a life coach. People have not been on this earth long enough to wipe their noses, but yet they're going to be a life coach to others? Seriously? Anyway, with that being said, uh, that's all the time I have for this video. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.